Welcome back, everybody, to set 2 of the LCUS. Week 4 here. We have 9 Lives versus White Wolf. I am Arcane Soda, joined here by Jeff. Jeff, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good. That was a good first set, and I like that it sets the tone for the rest of the night. Now the standard is high.
Yeah, we definitely saw a good resurgence by Option 12 there, keeping their playoff dreams alive. And now we have 9 Lives versus White Wolf. 9 Lives also sitting at the bottom of the standings with Option 12. White Wolf sitting towards the top, much like Northern Storm. So, are you expecting a similar result here now that we have that revitalized new 9 Lives roster, or you expecting White Wolf to kind of show us what they've been doing the past couple weeks?
Man, it's impossible to know. I guess if I had to choose, I guess I'll go White Wolf, but actually I'm gonna go 1-1. I really think this will be 1-1 because I think that Nine Lives, they're so new, with these three new players, it's very difficult for them to have come together in just the last couple days. But that means it's also very difficult for White Wolf to know how to have prepared for this new revamped team. And there are some really good players on this new Nine Lives. New look Nine Lives is what I've been calling them. So I think that could be problematic for White Wolf as we
Yeah,
get
we
into
got
champ select.
Huge here stepping into the mid lane for 9 Lives. Andy AoE stepping in as ADC. And Chiseled Chansey, formerly known as Stelio Cantos, stepping in as the support for 9 Lives. So, a lot of former players making their returns here. Very interesting to see how well these new players deal with the rest of the league, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Huge play mid that much. I know he can play all over the map, so I don't have any questions about him as a player overall. But obviously Ace is a very, very strong mid laner, so we'll see how that matchup goes. In the bot lane, though, this is such an interesting situation because we've seen Ravane and Wishbone be really, really good in the last couple weeks for White Wolf. But Andy AoE and Chisel Chansey, aka Stelio Cantos, these two walk onto the Rift halfway through the season, more than halfway through the season, arguably as the most scary bot lane in the league, in my opinion. Because obviously they are replacing in what, in my opinion, was the formerly most scary bot lane. And so it is going to be really exciting to see how this bot lane matchup goes. Kaisa early picked. I know that's a favorite of Andy, has been for years. So that's early priority. That makes a lot of sense. And then Anivia for Ace right away. You don't ban it, he's going to punish you.
Yeah, we see the Vayne banned away from Ravane as well as the Kaisa picked away, so a little bit of targeting going on there. Pick away less so because it is one of the things Andy is also pretty scary on. We see the Skarner coming through for Mixlink though. But we do see the respect coming through of Great Beard of Odin's, Jax, and his Shen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm interested to see if White Wolf doesn't pick Ravane's champion. I would expect it to be Caitlyn if they do pick it in this first rotation. Then I'll be interested to see if Nine Lives tries to target that pool a little bit more, because I believe we've only seen him on Vayne, Kaisa, and Caitlyn so far this split.
If memory serves, that would be correct, but my memory's not the greatest, so Twitch chat, please flame me if I'm wrong.
Urgot for Odin had a
All
very
right.
good game on that last week.
Urgot was very useful for him last week, able to have very strong performances on that. We see the Ornn banned away from Wraith Ghost here.
And I'm interested to see if they target the Volibear as well, because Wraith Ghost was effective on that last week.
Yeah,
Lux banned out.
We just have the top and jungle for the side of 9 Lives here. that has not been shown. We have the entire bot lane for the side of Ravane, or of White Wolf for Ravane and Wishbone. So we see Lux banned away. Do you think we'll see a Swain pick or Vayne
Yeah,
potentially?
I think it'll be Swain or Caitlyn right here. Um, Either way, you really start to slim down the champion pool of either Ravane or Wishbone. I was a little surprised by the Lux ban, to be honest. Um, Given that Ace has already picked Anivia, and I don't believe I've seen Wishbone on Lux this split. And
We also see the
Seraphine.
Seraphine ban.
Okay. So they're
Alright,
willing to
alright.
let Ravane and Wishbone potentially have Caitlyn Swain unless they were to take away the Swain.
And
Obviously a
Caitlyn
possibility.
Swain can definitely be a little bit of a scary lane. But if you pick the Swain up to steal it away, you're pretty much throwing that in the top lane guaranteed. Then we see the
Oh,
Leona picked out for
I
Wishbone,
like it.
another champion that Wishbone is very comfortable on and known for.
Yeah, I really like this pick. This is a go 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 comp from White Wolf,
Our Twitch
which is
chat
not.
is saying that Wishbone has been spamming Lux and plays Lux a lot, so um, although we haven't seen it much in the LCUS, it's definitely up there on her list of champs. And we see the Olaf Cho'Gath locked in for 9 lives here. It's going to add some beef to their lineup, and
A lot of beef coming through right at the end there.
and we're going to end things off with a Sivir for Ravane.
Oh.
That Sivir's really going to complement the Skarner and the Urgot wanting to just run into these fights, and the Leona just wanting to get
Yeah,
into these fights.
this is awesome from White Wolf because we've seen them be a team that kind of sits back and is willing to just play slow, methodical. But with this composition, everybody presses R, and the other team doesn't have a choice. There is a fight happening. So I'm excited to see White Wolf pull the trigger here and see how Nine Lives reacts. I do think that White Wolf, just looking at team comps, sorry to interrupt. Just looking at team comps, I think that White Wolf, their team comp seems more synergistic. Not to say that Nine Lives team comp is poor in any sense of the word, but when you look at White Wolf, it looks like there's a clear plan with this entire team comp.
Yeah, I really like actually both of these teams. There's kind of callbacks to some of the more like staple sort of team layouts we've seen in the LCUS over the past few years. Um, so it's going to be interesting to see these two teams play and kind of duke it out here. I like the tools that both teams have here. Malzahar obviously able to point, click, and kind of stop one person in their tracks, and they
Mm-hmm.
can follow that up with the Morgana and the Cho'Gath, and just kind of delete anyone that they need to. Um, they've got Olaf, who doesn't really care about any of the CC that White Wolf is bringing to the table, which is quite a bit. So I like the flexibility that they have. The Morgana there, the Malzahar there with their spell shields, and then on the other end of that coin, um, White Wolf here has a lot of tools to get in, but unfortunately, the only tool that they really have to get out is Sivir's ult, which you're generally using just to get into fights.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Nine Lives here has at least the Morgana binding to kind of try to disengage. Cho'Gath Q to disengage. So I think we're going to see a lot of explosive fights, and just by the lack of both teams' kind of disengage potential, they're going to be really bloody fights.
Yeah, I really feel like the Morgana pick was crucial for Nine Lives. I don't know for sure if White Wolf would have wanted that, but I know that's a champion that Wishbone is very, very adept on. And I think it would have been incredibly scary on this particular composition. When you can Black Shield a Skarner and just let a Skarner run in with Sivir ult, it's basically pay the QSS tax or die, because there's no stopping that. But conversely, now with Chiseled Chansey having this Morgana, you mentioned the Malzahar spell shield. Olaf can pop the Ragnarok. Cho'Gath, I mean, Cho'Gath can be pulled, I guess. But, as long as Chiseled Chansey hits the Blast Shield on Andy at the right time, it's going to be tough now for Mixlink to find somebody for that suppression.
Yeah, unless you get the Anivia in there to deal the damage to pop that Black Shield right away, it's going to be harder to get onto any of the primary targets on the side of 9 lives here, because Malzahar has his own spell shield, and when that's gone, the Morgana can just make sure that doesn't matter.
And I'm really interested to see if Andy AoE went cleanse here. I know that we don't see a ton of it in the LCUS, I feel like. I think that heal is sort of a more forgiving, more flexible summoner spell, but this seems like the kind of game where you might want to run cleanse.
As we get into the skins here, I'm going to have to give this one to 9 lives. The Bizahar is alright, but I just kind of like everything else that they have going on for them.
See, Gentleman Cho'Gath is great. Not a huge fan of the Kaisa skin, because not a prestige. Sorry, Andy.
That's alright.
Yeah.
I do like the Bullet Angel Kaisa quite a bit, and we do see underrepresentation of it, but that's alright. The KDA skins, especially the Prestige editions, are pretty quality skins as well.
Yeah, I actually think Bullet Angel is my favorite Kaisa skin. I think that the auto attack sound effects are super satisfying from that skin.
Yeah, they are.
Andy's not even running that one, so. So yeah, I guess I'll give it to White Wolf as well.
I give it to
had all 10
lives,
players having a skin though, so always makes for a close competition. Will we see some level 1 action?
We do see Wraith Ghost in a bit of trouble up here. Mixlink able to threaten the stun or threaten the flash away. So no flash from Wraith Ghost here. We actually see some level 1 aggression, some significant level 1 aggression. No cheeky invades or anything, but enough to get a summoner spell. So we're a step in the right direction.
I was apparently in loading screen for a little longer. So caught up now, yeah. So flash burn from Wraith Ghost. We'll see if Mixlink comes back up to that top lane and can punish that. Obviously, it's so easy to time a flash when you see it so early in the game. So obviously, White Wolf will be on that. And top lane already is a very vulnerable position for early ganks. Different starts from both junglers. We got bot side for Mixlink, top side for Idolites.
Alright, we'll have to see what these different starts mean. They're kind of doing mirrored starts right now. So, interesting to see if this is going to lead to an early gank, potentially in the top lane maybe, or if it's just going to end up being just normal clears.
Yeah, with Mixlink starting on the bot side, it just seems like his early rotation will take him right up to that top side. Oh, Wishbone goes right in at level 1. Neither bot lane has level 2 yet. Now Wishbone gets it. Maybe could have stayed in there, actually, and potentially punished that, but early on just asserting a little dominance, backing him up a little bit. And yeah, as I was saying, if Mixlink wants to just get the red buff, head up to top lane, although Odin is pushing it pretty hard right now, Cho'Gath is not, obviously has no mobility, so it's scary for a Cho'Gath to be without flash.
We see some trading going on. We see Idolites hovering around in this bot lane. Is going to get spotted out of the ward, but Wishbone goes in.
Yeah, this is really nice looking for 9 lives. Wishbone flashes away, and Idolites, well, they do burn 2 summoners.
Flash from Wishbone, heal from Ravane, keeps Wishbone nice and healthy, and just a good roam from Idolites there. Exhaust burned, yeah. Just a good rotation from Idolites down there, looking for a play.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that shouldn't really happen because White Wolf did have vision down there. So
Yeah, it looked like Idolites walked in
making his way
maybe
mid
just about
now.
Yeah,
Ace
actually, Ace
in a bit of trouble
might have to burn
here.
something here, depending on if Idolites really pursues this. Meanwhile, Mixlink, though, is just
Gonna
taking
back off
away
of it.
Idolites. Yeah, Mixlink is just plundering the jungle, the topside jungle of Idolites right now.
Unfortunately, Ace just able to walk that out. Idolites is not confident in his ability to just chase that down on his own. Ace being pretty much full HP, full mana, and still has egg available, so respects the damage potential from that ice burb.
And this Leona being without flash now. I mean, Leona can still close the gap, obviously, with the Zenith Blade, but it is still a lot of reduced threat. Her not being able to flash Q, get that instant stun. So that should make Andy feel a little bit more safe down here in the bot lane.
Yeah, one of the really nice things about playing Morgana into Leona is without that flash stun, the engage pattern is really telegraphed, and as soon as the Zenith Blade lands, you can spell shield and just dodge that
Idolites
stun.
is here again, and they've got onto Wishbone. No flash this time for the Leona. No way out. First blood. Andy AOE cashing in right away in his first game as a regular starter in this split.
Yeah, White Wolf had vision there again, but not gonna harp on him too much about it this time. They were pretty far up in the lane when Idolites finally showed on that ward, so not a whole lot they could have done about it at that point. Very good by Idolites to just make the return play down there after already burning the flash.
Mm-hmm. And as we all know, Morgana binding lasts 18 years, so what are you gonna do? And they will translate it. It looks right up to a Drake. This could get a little bit scary afterward, though. Mixlink is rooted, but Wishbone right back in, looking for some revenge. Gonna burn 2 flashes, so it's a Drake for 1 kill.
Yeah, Mixlink flashes in to try to steal that dragon, ends up just turning into an engagement, forces so many summoners out of the bot lane of 9 lives here. 2 flashes, a heal. They still get a kill at the cost of a Mountain Drake. And I think that's going to be okay for White Wolf here to accept that Mountain Drake loss.
I think both teams are probably feeling okay about that trade. 9 lives maybe they wish they would have not had to pay quite as much tax for that Drake, but at least they got it. And now Idolite's scaring Mixlink away from his Raptors.
Yeah, we see a slight camp advantage from Mixlink here, and that's in part to Idolites just constantly moving around in these lanes, trying to make things happen, and Mixlink able to find some opportunities to try and get some counter jungling done. Really wants to hit that level 6 before he starts to become a ganking monster.
Yeah, obviously different early philosophies here for the junglers, as we've had Mixlink just sort of trying to power farm, whereas Idolites had shown his face multiple times and made use of it. So both junglers, I think, are probably feeling good, just as both teams are probably feeling fine based off of that dragon play.
And I think that's kind of to speak to Idolites' benefit from this, because he spent a lot of time and attention trying to facilitate plays in these lanes. And he's still pretty much even on CS, so he hasn't really lost anything for it.
A funny little lack of engage, I guess, down in the bot lane there, as Mixlink was waiting in a brush and Chiseled Chansey almost walked right into him. Nobody hit anything, every skill shot missed, and everyone just walked away.
Yeah, Ace tries to put down his ice wall to cancel the recall of Huge, but the spell shield actually blocks it, and he's able to recall and teleport back to him. Funny little interaction.
Ooh,
Ravane able to just barely dodge that binding, otherwise he's in a lot of trouble. Ace is on his way down, but is going to be on a ward. Black
Yeah, I
Shield
think,
prevents
yeah.
the stun. TP coming in,
Oh,
though, in kind
teleport.
of a
Ace could be in
weird
trouble.
spot. Ace
Yeah, he's gonna have to flash
forced the
that wall.
flash
It's
out.
you just coming down as well. Wraith Ghost, I don't. Oh, flash for the ult. They get right in onto Ace. He does have the egg, but I think he'll just get scrambled up. Wishbone in trouble now, paying for the sins of the mid laner. This Leona will die for the second time. Big play from 9 lives down on the bot side. Ravane actually. Ooh, good spell shield.
Very well timed spell shield. Prevents any further casualties. Really good collapse by 9 lives there. Really taking advantage of White Wolf trying to be proactive and just kind of
actually
slapping him on the wrist.
And really interestingly, Idolites was able to pick up the Rift Herald on the other side of the map. It's pretty rare that you see a team be able to win both sides of the map like that. You have your top laner teleporting bot, and you're still able to secure an objective for your jungler solo on the top side. So really, really good last couple minutes from 9 lives.
Yeah, interesting little note. Odin decided not to follow on the TP, probably for the better because of how the fight turned out. But you do kind of have to wonder how that fight goes if he does make his way in.
Yeah, with it being so far towards 9 live side of the river, I don't necessarily blame Odin for thinking that it wasn't the right thing to come in there. Maybe just an overextension from the rest of White Wolf. And they burned the passive off of Anivia as well there, which is, you know, it's not a kill, it's not really a summoner, but it's a pretty important cooldown in itself. Huge now, might walk into about 4 of them though, and there goes Wishbone right in onto Idolites, but the Ragnarok will keep him safe, and we'll have another 2 trains passing the night. Everyone walks away.
Yeah, Wishbone able to try to follow up with the ult there, but not going to matter to that Ragnarok. Able to get Idolites out to safety. Fortunately for White Wolf, that does give them priority on this dragon. And it looks like they're going to set up for it right away. Already started it. Idolites in the area. Doesn't really have a way to get in, though, and this dragon should go over pretty safely to White Wolf.
Nice play by White Wolf there.
Just a little too far out to actually have any threat, but if you're not sure if you're going to get anything or not, might as well throw it out.
I'm interested to see where Idolites decides to drop this. Oh, well, there it is, right in the bot lane. Rift Herald on cue. Mixlink is here, though, so this could end up being...
Just trying to accelerate this bot lane as much as they can. Get Andy AoE and Chiseled Chansey really far ahead down here and just really put the pressure on to Ravane and Wishbone.
Yeah, it's always interesting to me, you know, the conflict between holding onto the Rift Herald, trying to find the perfect use of it, you know, because using it on later turret plates is technically more valuable, because the Rift Herald will take out 2 plates regardless. So it's beneficial to wait on it for later plates. But if you can get the gold now, you know, if you see an opportunity, I understand the merit. In the mid lane, just, you know, you just done a pretty good job. This is Malzahar versus Anivia. It's wave clear for days. The main difference that we've seen is based off of that bot lane play.
I guess the argument against your observation about Rift Herald is it's also still pretty worth just dropping it at the earliest opportunity, like you said, because the earlier you can get that gold in your pockets, the earlier you can start to use that to facilitate bigger advantages and stuff. So,
yeah, get the snowball rolling as quickly as possible.
That said, Ravane and Wishbone are going to get some free chip damage on this bottom tower here. Should get a plate here before Chiseled Chansey and Andy AoE make their way back. Not going to get 2, so not going to even up the plate count, but...
Huge on his way down. Does get spotted out, but I'm not sure if Ravane has a way out here. Spell Shield's still available. Should be fine. And Ace is just chipping away with those Anivia auto attacks in the mid lane. Idolite's walking up. I'm not sure if Idolites can really take this fight. Level 8 versus level 9. Wall should just cut him
Ooh.
off, yeah. The
Ace
Ragnarok made it scary
manages.
for a second there, but
Ace manages to take
although
a tower
actually,
shot, making that a lot
oh, Wraith
scarier.
Ghost,
Wraith
Wraith
Ghost
Ghost can
is
just,
here.
yeah.
Uses Feast on Ace to create the egg, so not going to gain too much benefit there. But Ultimate also expended by Huge to kind of secure the kill.
And here's a ult from Wishbone down in the bot lane, forces the flash out of Chisel Chansey.
Very good flash there. Makes you wonder, Black Shield was not available, so really good timing on White Wolf to find the opportunity. Really good flash by Chisel Chansey to prevent that opportunity from developing into a kill.
Yeah, it feels like it was an overstay by Ace in that mid lane. Did get a plate, but just had no support anywhere else on the map. So the way Wraith Ghost was able to just shamble down from top lane and finish that off despite Ace escaping from Idolites earlier. Maybe a little bit of overextension from the Anivia there.
9life's building a slight lead here in this early game. Going to be really beneficial towards them. The scaling on the side of White Wolf here can be pretty scary if they start to get their own leads. So, really like to see 9lives keeping the pressure on here.
At this point, Wraith Ghost is 2-0-1. I know Cho'Gath isn't necessarily a carry champion, but he's also not the kind of champion that you want to see get too far ahead because he just becomes unkillable.
Yeah, especially with that especially with that Urgot generally able to kind of manage him on his own. Wraith Ghost's been able to roam around and find some kind of really important kills and assists in the bot lane, in the mid lane. First tower goes over to the side of 9lives here in the bot lane, but it looks like we might have a fight developing here.
Mixling gets bound up. Voidseeker lands as well, but only tickles the Scorpion a little bit. It's like both teams really prioritizing this next dragon. Wraith Ghost is going to teleport in right on top of about 5. They're really going to have to help this Cho'Gath because this could be scary. Black Shield comes out. That's nice. Into the back line they go, and they catch on to Mixlink. The jungler is going to drop. Chisel Chansey picks up that kill, but Great Beard of Odin has turned it around on the other side. Everybody from White Wolf is incredibly low, though. Nice snipe with the Dark Binding from Chisel Chansey. A double kill goes over to the new support for 9lives. It's a 3 for 2, and they should be able to pick up this dragon pretty safely. Very
interesting. Huge able to throw suppression down onto Mixlink, like right at the beginning of that fight, preventing him from finding Andy in the beginning.
Flash in from Andy, I like that. Just taking out the Anivia early, exhaust onto Remain, doesn't have spell shield for a while, use it earlier, and big time, that's a delayed ace from 9lives. They take 5 lives from White Wolf and will claim their second drink.
A little questionable by Ace and Ravane there, trying to make something happen there without much advantage. Andy didn't really have much mana, but you still have to respect the damage potential from just... It's 2 carries versus 2 carries and a support, so...
Yeah, and Ace, I believe, was at about 30-40% health when he walked up, and Hail of Blades Kaisa, even without mana, just stacks up that plasma so quickly.
Yeah, Ace already low, didn't have the egg. Looked like they were just kind of trying to get something there, and unfortunately were unable to.
And we've seen Ace and Ravane pull off that kind of play in the past. Right around Dragon, a couple weeks ago, they 2v3, 2v4-ish in that same area, but this time not able to pull it off. Just give over more gold, and now it looks like it's going to be second Rift Herald going over to 9lives as well.
Yeah, and White Wolf doesn't really have vision of this, and it doesn't look like they're going to find out either. Mixlink looking for something onto Huge here, but not able to break the spell shield, means he's going to turn around and call it quits on this. Walks up, gets rooted as they figure out that Rift Herald goes down, and now he's just running.
Vayne and Wishbone will get this bot lane tower at least.
Very important gold for them to get back in their pockets. Gonna need to try to close that gold lead, which has grown to about 3k. About 1,000 gold lead over each of the carries respectively, as well as the support.
Huge could be in trouble here. Does not have the spell shield this time. Mixlink, nope, won't go under the tower for it. The wall comes out. And, oh my gosh, they are just investing everything. Nice stopwatch.
Stopwatch is OP.
Oh, but they still get the suppression afterward. Wishbone walks away.
Yeah,
and
Wishbone
actually got kill credit, which is a little suboptimal, but you'll still take that.
Yeah, unfortunate that the kill goes over to Wishbone, but Wishbone did put in a lot of work there, tanking the tower for most of that engagement, and it looks like Wraith Ghost is in a lot of trouble here, but Idle Lights is
Very
here to scare them all off.
Yeah, the support shows up just in time. Wraith Ghost just stomps on the ground, backs them up. And now all of a sudden it could be 9 lives looking to fish in the mid lane, although actually it looks like Wraith Ghost will head down to the bot lane and pick up that nice juicy farm. Maybe we got a couple more stacks.
And we see Keno seemingly getting his revenge on Stopwatch in the chat, saying, "Where's your stopwatch now?"
Yeah, didn't do much for Huge that time. So at this point, I feel like both teams are feeling okay about the game state at this point. I think 9 Lives is probably feeling better, obviously, but White Wolf, you know, we know that they're a team that is comfortable playing into late game, that they feel okay just playing for later team fights. And Sivir and Nivea, you know, that's infinite wave clear in Team Champion.
Wave clear is not going to be a problem for them. Malzahar, pretty good wave clear, but not quite enough to match Anivia, and I don't know if anyone really matches Sivir's wave clear. So, definitely okay to see White Wolf sitting in a 3k gold deficit here. Basically, they're happy as long as the gold lead does not increase.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that they're very glad that they managed to at least pick up that one Drake, so that they're not on soul point pressure right now. As we see pings coming out from both teams. Drake in less than a minute now. And 9 Lives would love to get to that soul point, because that means that White Wolf will have to come to them, will have to team fight before Sivir potentially gets to that incredible 3-4 item power spike that is so famed.
Yeah, and White Wolf's been doing a really good job of making sure they're here for these dragons. Trying to set up vision for it, trying to just set up the positioning for it.
Oh, Wishbone goes in, but it's just her and Mixlink, and yeah, they immediately retreat. Wall not quite leveled up enough to block Wraith Ghost all the way into that choke point.
We see Huge in the top lane, does have TP available. Looks like they're going to try to find
now they're looking for Andy, though. He has no flash. He still has heal, but I think he's in a lot of trouble. Does still have Killer Instinct, but gets pulled in by Great Beard of Odin. That's a great call by White Wolf. Their first engage did not work, but they saw a chance to get onto the primary carry, and they just bullseye in onto him under the
Huge
tower.
TPs to the mid lane, so he can kind of be here to support for this, but it looks like he's actually just going to take mid lane pressure, considering Drake is looking kind of scary. If Odin can hit the Blast Cone here and prevent Wraith Ghost, he's just going to try to kill Wraith Ghost here. Ooh, in the middle of the team, almost gets the kill, but ends up dying for it. We do see Dragon go over to White Wolf, so sacrifice not in vain. Tower goes over to 9 Lives in the mid lane here, but
you know, mission accomplished overall, you know, because it looked like Wraith Ghost was thinking about some sort of Blast Cone feast play onto that Drake.
Yeah, you do wonder if...
Oh, Andy jumping right in onto Ace, burns the egg for the Killer Instinct. That's probably worth.
Yep.
And they burn the flash as well.
Doesn't stay too close, doesn't have to worry about potentially getting traded out. Respects the potential of the team following up, so decides to just take the egg and get out.
And Chisel Chansey, yeah. Chisel Chansey fired a Dark Binding right as the egg was about to hatch, so Ace had to flash. So absolutely worth it. Andy trading that Kaisa ultimate for 2 big cooldowns on the Anivia.
Absolutely, and Ace is going to be a little bit more vulnerable for like 5 minutes or so. So definitely going to be playing a little bit more reserved, but that's all right. With Anivia's wave clear, staying back is the specialty.
And absolutely huge that White Wolf was able to pick up that 4th Drake as well, 2nd for them, because it allows them just more time to continue to scale up. Not to say that they have a definitive advantage in scaling. I mean, Kaisa scales very, very well. Cho'Gath scales well. But Sivir and Anivia, I mean, Sivir especially is just... it's almost a meme for Sivir.
Now we see chat mentioning a lack of QSS on Andy AoE or potentially even Ace here. You do have to worry about that Skarner, because if you're not near your Morgana, you are extremely vulnerable if you're Andy here.
Yeah, it was a great call out. I don't know who called it, but whoever said Mixlink just run, you know, about maybe an 1/8 of the way across the map, right at Andy. It worked. It was a great decision. It's not the kind of play that I would have seen because Mixlink was so far away from Andy when it started, but they made it work. They got the Drake out of it. Still a 2,500 gold lead though.
And you almost want to see a QSS onto Ace as well, because this this Malzahar is going to be a real problem, and Ace and Ravane basically need to get
in trouble here. Yeah, they do. Yeah, there's the lack of cooldowns for Ace. Just off to the side by himself. You see both teams now just sort of punishing that. That one a little maybe more easy to see for 9 lives, but yeah, Ace off on the flank, no support in sight.
Fortunately, Sivir is still here. They still have the wave clear for this area.
Oh my goodness.
But it's not going to matter for
trying to save her jungler, but will go down as well. Ravane has to flash away, and there's the damage from Andy AoE. The Kaisa, the Acathian Rain drowns.
Yeah, we see Yuji's floating away with just over 100 HP. Idolites healing up from being pretty low himself, and very unfortunate 3 kills go over to the side of 9 lives here, able to pick up Ravane under the tower.
Down bottom. They are looking for Wraithghost, looking to 1v2 here. They should get him. There's... Oh, wow. I don't know if Odin predicted that flash or if it was Wraithghost just... Or was it a flash?
No, that was the ult forcing him at a set distance away.
Ah, okay. I saw Wraithghost suddenly move about 400 pixels. I was very confused. So in any case, good teleport from Ace. They get something back, some momentum back across the map. Wraithghost does have teleport, so he can rejoin if something were to pop off in the next few seconds. Looks like White Wolf, though, they're happy to just temper what happened in the last couple minutes. And Andy at 6-1 and 5 now. You know, the gold is in the right places for 9 lives, which I feel is very important to point out.
We do see QSS has been grabbed by Andy now, so able to pay that oh so steep Skarner tax.
Yeah, the Skarner tax.
Now we just need...
There's something to call your congressman about.
Now we just need to see Ace and Ravane do the same with the Malzahar tax, because that is very problematic. Although the ult has landed on a variety of targets, it's going to be increasingly more difficult.
Did not get the Cell Shield pop, though. They do force out the Ragnarok, and they jump right in onto Ace. Looks like Idolites is just going to chase him out of the fight. Mixlink has to flash away. Huge very low as well. Andy cannot really get in a good position, and Odin, that's a brilliant play to flash and get the huge fear across most of the team. Looks like Chansey will drop as well. Idolites comes back. I don't think he can solo carry this fight, though, despite how much healing Odin...
Quadra kill for Odin here on this Urgot.
Brilliant play from Greatbeard of Odin there. Got the ult flashed in for the fear. Basically won that fight solo, I believe, off of that.
Yeah, Idolites just completely removing Ace from the fight, running right into the back line, but White Wolf pulls the trigger and takes the rush of the fight and then cleans up Idolites as he almost cleans it up himself.
Yeah, Idolites, I thought for a second he might hold that off, but Great Bear of Odin, that, yeah, I believe it was a 3-person fear off of that ultimate flashing in. That was a big deal. That was a big deal, and now you've got White Wolf on soul point, whereas earlier we were talking about their need to avoid allowing 9 lives to get to that point.
Yeah, and we see the gold lead has shrunk ever so slightly, still about that 2 to 3k mark, but we see now that Odin has this 7-2 scoreline, he's up about 3k over this poor Cho'Gath. He is the richest man in the game right now, and rightfully so. Quadra kills tend to do that.
Got a pretty big shutdown bounty on him now, and I'm always wondering, you know, when your frontliner, or at least one of the 2 frontliners, or 3, I guess, with Wishbone, when someone who's going to be in the front line, going to be initiating fights, has a shutdown on it, what is the proper way to play that? Because you still want to be aggressive, play your role, but you also want to protect that shutdown.
Well, the thought process there is, as long as you're there to support Odin, it's totally fine for him to be in the front line, because he's beefy enough that he's going to do a lot of damage. He's going to be sturdy as long as his team's around him and doing their part of the damage. So I don't think you necessarily need to play too much around the shutdown as long as you're playing as a team.
Well, at this point, I mean, the gold lead has not grown. It's actually shrunk a little bit in the last 5-10 minutes. So if you're White Wolf, I mean, I always say gold leads, what matters is the percentage, the relative gold lead, not so much the number itself. So, you know, 2,500 now, way less impactful than 2,500 10 minutes ago. So at this point, gold lead barely matters. We're basically even, I think, and I'm excited to see this next fight, which may pop off here. Huge. Has to flash away. Good black shield as well from Chisel Chansey to protect the mid laner.
Yeah, flash may be unnecessary there just because of how much, just because of the spell shield and his positioning against the rest of the team, potentially far enough away that he's not in danger. But I do like the respect that he's showing White Wolf and their potential to chain him up and take him down.
Yeah, it's a scary situation because if you get a pick right there, if you're White Wolf, you can walk right to Baron. Great Beard of Odin has teleport available, Wraith Ghost does not. So it really becomes a tricky situation.
We see Baron is kind of getting a little bit of vision around it, mostly from the side of 9 Lives. Has a couple wards in the area. We see TP available from almost both top laners. Cho'Gath should have it in just a couple seconds here, so really, whatever the teams want to do, they have their tools available, TP available from both mid laners as well. Looks like most of 9 Lives is setting up around this Baron, though. We see Dragons up in a minute 14. Could we potentially see a fight up here as the top laners are duking it out in the bot lane?
Yeah, it's funny to watch these guys go at it, because I don't think either one is really going to kill the other unless somebody makes a really rash mistake.
Dragons up in a minute. Soul point for White Wolf here. It looks like the Baron call has been made, at least to take out the vision.
Yeah, I like that White Wolf stuck around there long enough to make sure that they can now walk to this dragon, and they don't have to worry about White Wolf potentially sneaking. But Chisel Chansey burns the black shield, so that is down for a little while, and Odin's behind them. Wraith Ghost does have teleport in just a few seconds, but oh no, Mixlink has gone way too far, but then they catch on to Huge. It's a mid laner for jungle trade so far. Idolites is very low, he will drop as well, so there's no smite for either side. Wow, Wishbone landed the Zenith Blade, but wasn't able to follow it in.
Yeah, very well-timed rupture by the Cho'Gath here. Wraith Ghost just stopping that engage, but the fight's not over yet.
Yeah, Wraith Ghost, I think Wraith Ghost has to stay alive here, otherwise it's guaranteed soul. Odin jumps in. Great Beard of Odin is just carrying this game right now. 2 fights in a row. He earns his team soul point, and then he gets that point as well.
Yeah, Ace actually able to stay alive in that last fight, able to pump out a lot of damage, and, well, Odin just kind of taking the fight away regardless.
Going where he pleases. Might not be Mundo, but Urgot cosplaying as Mundo is a scary proposition. And now you got White Wolf running right towards Baron. Wraith Ghost has teleport available.
Ravane and Odin in the bot lane still. Odin does have TP available. Looks like he's just going to recall and potentially make his way up there. Ravane still pressuring down here, though.
This could be dangerous for White Wolf because they're not really on the same page. Odin's coming up with the teleport.
Wraith Ghost's TP was called out. Does make his way in.
They just killed Wishbone right away. Wraith Ghost shows up. Now Idolite, they're on to Urgot, and if they get this shutdown, that could be a big deal. They do get it. Goes over to Idolite. It's not necessarily ideal, but you'll still take it, of course. Now can they kill Ace? Nice binding from Chisel Chansey, and this could be a Baron now for 9 lives.
Yeah, Baron was able to reset from the engagement, but when you've got 4 dead people on the side of White Wolf and Ravane's still trying to pressure this bot lane, is going to do a lot of damage to Andy here.
Oh, wow.
Andy able to make the outplay there and finish him off. That's 4 dead for the side of White Wolf. Mixlink does have Flash, but is not able to find the way in with all of the harass that 9 Lives is throwing, and Baron is secured for 9 lives here.
Yeah, I think that was just... It was an overreach from White Wolf. You know, they could have gone Baron. They did have the advantage, but it just felt like it wasn't... It felt like everyone wasn't on the same page.
Yeah, we had... The last 5 minutes have all been feeling pretty much like White Wolf starting to take over the game, and then that Baron play happens, and Great Beard of Odin kind of teleports into a weird spot and just gets taken down, and they can't find a good positioning for the fight. They don't have Ravane for the fight, and it's just overall 0 for 4. I believe, did Mixlink fall afterwards? Either way, Baron goes over, and...
You jump in onto Wraith Ghost now, but look at that enormous shield, and Odin is going to melt again. So the Urgot dies twice, but they do get onto Huge. Nice use of the Zonia's Hourglass, but now they pull back Idolites, and it's a 1-for-1 so far. Wraith Ghost really, really low. Mixlink jumps in. Andy is so low as well. He will drop a Cathian Rain. Might help them get 1 back. Chisel Chansey picks it up, but now the Morgana all alone. Support with no cooldowns. Not fun to play. It's going to be an ace. And White Wolf, they strike right back. This game on a seesaw.
Yeah, not intimidated by that Baron play whatsoever. Knew that they just mechanically played that wrong and quickly shore up their shortcomings and just ace them back. Odin maybe a little bit too far forward by himself at the beginning of that fight, but definitely not the worst thing to happen for them.
Will they stay for the inhib? I think they should. Yeah, they will. I saw
respawn timers are just long enough that they'll be able to get the inhib here and walk it out.
So the gold, for all intents and purposes, even. We'll have Elder Dragon coming up soon. At this point, the Cloud Soul, we haven't talked very much about that. How have you seen that really play a role in the game in the last few minutes?
The Cloud Soul actually was pretty impactful at getting Idolites pulled all the way into the backline in that last fight, actually. Mixlink able to hit him with the stinger, drag him halfway across the map, and just take him out. Aside from that, Ace gets to use it every time he wants to make the Vortex go up. Ravane gets to go absolutely insane every time he pushes R. So, definitely been somewhat useful in the past couple of minutes, but the ultimate cooldown is really what's going to be super useful for White Wolf here. Able to get that Stinger up so frequently, on the hunt up so frequently, and just all their tools. Pretty much Ace is the only one that doesn't really benefit from it.
Yeah,
From
it's
the
pretty crazy.
cooldown
I
at
mean,
least.
you're looking at Wishbone with the Solar Flare. That cooldown is down to 36 seconds. Great Beard of Odin's Fear Beyond Death down to 33 seconds.
Yeah, Ace really the only one that can't utilize the cooldown that much, but definitely takes advantage of the movement speed to its fullest. If he wants to move anywhere slightly faster, just pops R for half a second and he's gone.
And Andy AoE, I believe, is on full build right now. So this Kaisa has reached the point where you must be very, very careful about how you approach fights. Obviously, Ravane is very, very powerful as well. Not quite to that full build point, but pretty close. Ravane does have a stopwatch in the inventory, so we'll see how that gets utilized in the future. Andy jumping in onto Ace, really seeking that out, forces the flash.
Yeah, don't want to lose the egg here if you don't have to. Definitely a smart play to flash there, because even if egg pops, he's guaranteed dead there.
And now, White Wolf, they're a little split here on either side of this big chunky blue wall.
They can sit here as long as they need to, because minions are pushing into the base of 9 lives. 9 lives knows that and is sending Malzahar back to clean it up. He has TP to make his way back in. Looks like White Wolf. Look for the fight here.
On Rachel, Idolites jumps right back in. Here comes Huge. Teleporting back in. Idolites is pretty low, and Wraith Ghost is alone in the backline. Big time shield though, and the Cho'Gath will actually escape. Andy AoE has taken out Wishbone. Great Beard of Odin, Ravane, and Ace are all that remain. The 3 big carries though are still alive for White Wolf, and those minions, they took out the last wave, but the next wave will still push in. Wraith Ghost still has teleport though, so if it ends up being necessary, although Dark Binding lands onto Odin, that may be a potentially game-changing Dark Binding. Odin, he's still alive. No, Andy dashes in, still had the killer instinct. Now Ace could be in trouble. Andy flashes after him, could be in a little bit of danger. Ravane is there. Andy able to kite back away. And this should be Elder Dragon now for 9 lives.
Yeah, at the start of the fight, we see Mixlink potentially grabbing the wrong target, just looking like he hit almost the first thing he could see. Ace is in a lot of trouble here, just caught out of position and taken down. No egg to save him, no team to back him up. He is gone.
And that's Baron as well now. Might have been anyways, but...
Yeah, this Baron is definitely a big ask for White Wolf to try to even bother contesting. They've got Elder working against them. They've got numbers disadvantage. Mixlink might look for a steal here, but ult is not up from Wraith Ghost. They do just back off. They are going to concede it. Baron and Elder over to the side of 9 lives, and that's going to be a difficult next 2 minutes for the side of White Wolf here.
Man, what a game. What a game. I am loving this. This has been back and forth. This has been exciting. Both teams taking the initiative. Both teams honestly making mistakes. But they've somehow, it seems like there's been some sort of gentleperson's agreement that they will, you know, if one team makes a mistake, the other will next. So we'll see what happens now. We got Elder Drake and Baron buff.
So we saw in the last fight...
Sorry, go ahead.
We saw in the last fight, Mixlink hit Wraith Ghost with the ultimate and dragged him basically all the way through the entire backline, which was potentially a bad thing because they weren't able to focus him down and just take him out. So either he needs to find a different target or they need to focus him down better if that is going to be what's grabbed. Siege coming in here from 9 lives, able to just walk in, take that inhibitor. White Wolf more than happy to give that up because they really can't afford to take too many bad fights and losses here because 1 or 2 picks could be the end of the game here.
This could be a dangerous defense if they try to defend this inner turret. We've seen so many teams get flanked, get aced, trying to defend one of these inner turrets when momentum is not going your way, and you see White Wolf, they back away, ate a couple of skill shots. You still do have that incredible Sivir and Nibia wave clear, but with the Baron buff, it obviously becomes marginalized. Wishbone throws out the solar flare, but it looked like nobody was in a position to be able to capitalize on that. And we'll see, yeah, they still have the Elder Dragon buff, so if you're 9 lives, there's no reason to stop yet. Odin walking forward, gets bound up, tanky enough.
Say that Elder Dragon just runs out, and it looks like they're gonna take that advantage and kind of just be smart about it and just take the win that they got and set up for the next play. No reason to get greedy to try to end the game here.
Yeah, now if you're 9 lives, you've got 2 inhibs down. They went down within about 30 seconds of each other. And so you can just go up to that top side and just be methodical. One thing that's always worth noting is that Andy has been on full build for about 5 minutes now. So this Kai'Sa isn't really getting any stronger. Whereas
yeah, the only thing that we'll maybe see is maybe switching out 1 or 2 items, maybe getting rid of those boots for another damage item, but I think he's content to just sit here with what he's got. Gold lead is basically becoming irrelevant as players finish out the rest of their builds.
And Wishbone is pretty far behind lines, but should be fine. Not really behind lines, just sort of parallel to them. But that bot wave is gonna stack up eventually. Second super minion making its way down. And I assume that is what 9 Lives has in mind. Although Wraithghost gets caught out very, very early on and will get taken down. Fear Beyond Death does take down the Cho'Gath. Great Beard Vulcan with a huge shield. He will stay alive. Idolites in the background now, back line. They do take out Mixlink. And so it's a 2 for 2. Really just the 2 big tanks. Odin flashes in, really looking for Huge, but missed the disdain, and Andy is gonna clean him up. That could be actually, let's see, Huge teleporting back, does have teleport. Ravane will stay alive. But you just teleport here, this could potentially be 3 inhibs if he teleports back.
Yeah, Greatbeard Odin trying to finish off as much of the fight as he can, but goes aggressive. Huge has flash, has his Zonias, and just kind of debates Odin into making that aggressive play.
Like 9 Lives, they will actually just take their slight win and recall. Another Elder Drake is going to be up very, very soon. And inhibitors will still be down for White Wolf, so they will still have to deal with this pressure. They do have the incredible wave clear as we've covered in the past. They actually have a deep ward in that, or excuse me, sorry, it's a scrying orb, so actually it will not allow for a teleport flank. Wall off onto Wraithghost, but it's a big old Cho'Gath. I'm not sure that's really the one that you wanted. Now there's a ward here, so Odin can join, although Odin actually scuttles his way out of base a lot faster than I expected, and he is here. So we may just have a 5v5 that could decide the whole thing. Huge. And Andy dashes in onto Great Beard of Odin. They are really looking for this guy. Andy, oh no! The Kai'Sa goes in solo and may have just ran it down. On the other side, Wraithghost and Idolites trying to rescue something from this fight, but this could all go the wrong way now. Huge is caught. Wishbone, actually the wall from Ace, I'm not sure if that might have saved Huge for a moment there. Ravane is still full health though, and this will probably end up being nothing just because Idolites is still alive, so you can't take the Drake now.
Odin is still alive and has TP available. They could potentially look for something still here. Both carriers still alive on the side of White Wolf. It looks like they're positioning to potentially try for a flank or something here.
This is a dicey situation for
Ooh,
both.
ult lands, Fear Beyond Death.
Nice. Oh, Idolite's looking for Ravane. I don't know if he has the damage for this, though. Nice juke by Ravane on that axe. That could be a huge deal. He will survive, and that means that there is no longer a smite threat from 9 lives, and this should be a free Elder
You've got
Drake now.
3 people so long on their respawn timers. No smite, no feast. They need to burn this down, otherwise that Cho'Gath can get in there and try to feast on this, so it's not going to be enough time for him to get in, though, and Elder Dragon is now secured for White Wolf.
And both the inhibs back up as well. Baron is alive.
Elder on their backs, Baron in their sights, and it looks like White Wolf is still swinging back with full force. Nobody's got this game decided just yet.
And unless something crazy happens in the next 20 seconds, we're going to have a game that spans over 50 minutes.
Well, I don't think the game's ending just yet. So, we're going to have a 50-minute game on our hands. Baron is easily secured by White Wolf. Nobody really on 9 lives wants to step up and contest that Elder take, showing the same respect that White Wolf did about 7 to 10 minutes ago on the last Baron.
So the seesaw has swung again. Now the 2 big global buffs on the other side. And we'll see what 9 lives can do to defend their base. Last time White Wolf had to give up 2 inhibitors, but it worked out. They kept the game going. And now we'll see what 9 lives can do. White Wolf, they are looking really, really confident as they push in. Andy's already at about 70% health, which is a big deal against an Elder Dragon buff because it only takes another 50 to get you down. Wishbone drops. Wishbone is the first one to fall in this fight, and no one from 9 lives has dropped yet. Idolites, or excuse me, Wraithghost is just in the back. Huge shield again, and Wraithghost, he eventually will get smited down by that Elder Dragon buff, and Ace also takes out Andy, and that should probably be the game now. Idolites gone. The Elder Dragon just too powerful. Triple kill for Ace at the end. Odin gets the final kill onto Chiseled Chansey. What a game.
Yeah,
51 minutes.
Andy eventually ticking down just enough that he gets taken out by the Elder Dragon there. Very, very long and impressive game by both teams. We see so much damage coming out of both the carries on the side of 9 lives, but just so much more coming from this Urgot and this Sivir. Just
Great of Odin.
Yeah, it's so difficult to just deal with that much damage. Such a long game. Really good vision score from especially Huge, really standing out in that mid lane with 90 over that very long game.
Yeah, absolutely. Good call out there. But overall, man, yeah. What an even, exciting game. I hope we get another one just like it.
Yeah, White Wolf able to slug it out for that first one, and stay tuned for the next one as we take a short break.